Now, when it comes to Drake, Young Thug, everybody he cried to in his apology, and Kendrick Lamar, get the tissue paper ready because today we are going to be looking at the softest rappers in the game, and after an all-time crash out and multiple careers on the line, well, Drake and Young Thug patched up their differences and seemingly responded back to all of the pressure that Kendrick Lamar's success and the end of the party that has been coming is bringing them. And now with this, make sure to leave a like and subscribe because with each like we get, it is just showing that with Kendrick Lamar and the people behind him, the Soft Rapper Alliance is coming down no matter what they do. And so now what has started this gigantic mess of events in hip-hop is Young Thug coming back out and responding to all of the negative stuff that has been going on around his name and all of the leaked phone calls that have been circulating about him dissing pretty much everybody. And instead of crashing out more or putting out statements that would make you wonder if the guy is literate, he released an apology to Drake, Future, so many others, and almost everybody else he wronged. But with who he didn't say sorry to, it is showing us a lot about what may be going on behind the scenes and what the plan with all of this really is. Which, if you have not figured it out, with Lil Baby retiring, Drake spiraling, and everybody else just crying, Young Thug is really trying to make a last-ditch effort to save him and Drake's side of hip-hop that is failing so bad right now. And really, when we actually break down the music video of Young Thug's new song and see how Drake literally did give him footage to put in the video, which seemingly shows that Drake already knew about this apology, and there's a lot going on with what that really means. But once again, sit back, relax, and leave those likes to make sure that Kendrick's lyrics about the party coming to a finale fully come true. And now let's just get into the monstrosity which we need to cover here, which is all around Young Thug's 7-minute apology track, which is called Man, I Miss My Dogs, which sends out apologies to Drake, Future, Lil Baby, Gucci Mane and his family, Mariah the Scientist, and a few others. And now, quick side note, I don't know what it is with loser rappers naming songs with dogs in it this week, but if I did, well, I'd have 2 nickels or whatever the meme is. But now what I will actually say about this is that at least for making this a song as opposed to just ranting on social media and embarrassing yourself even more, well, Young Thug is showing that his hip-hop levels are higher than Drake and Lil Baby, which I don't even know how much that's actually saying. But I guess it's something in this side of hip-hop where the bar is just so incredibly low. But honestly now, for whatever hip-hop points you got for actually addressing a beef and controversy with a song, with the messages you have sent across by not addressing or taking back your words to Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole, or Andre 3000 of all people even, Young Thug has revealed a lot about why he is making this track and who he still wants to keep his disses out for. And speaking of the guy who it really does feel like he made this song to get a feature cleared and show allegiance to, all to gear up for something much bigger, which I think we are going to find out very soon, and specifically on September 19th. Well, all comes back to the annoying, inescapable, and intolerable Ice Spice Man, as right now here, for the first time, Cupcake is the one who is getting apologized to, and what Young Thug says to him in this record, which just get ready to be baffled by this: Drizzy, you my brother. You know I ain't going against you. I got manners. I hate this side of hip-hop, man. Everything you did for the rap community can't ban you, never dish you, came to visit me at Cobb County like my kin do, F the jail call, you know the other calls we had. And once again, I don't even know how we call this hip-hop. These guys literally lack basic writing skills. But now, aside from me ranting, what Young Thug also talks about now is him trying to squash all of the beef with Drake, Metro Boomin, and Future, as he says, trying to get you, Metro, and Pluto on the same page. The internet don't know about it because real don't say. Real do, and I learned that from you, which once again, I can't stand this side of hip-hop. What a terrible bar, and what an embarrassing way to just try to flatter Drake. But we gotta keep going. We had our own differences, but Cash came through and got us on the phone, which I guess he's talking about Cash XO, and I really don't know what he means here, as he says, like, why you and Cash beefing? He got us on the phone, he pulled up to my home. Ever since y'all differences, it never passed dawn. It darkness every day. I called Metro on the phone and told him let it go. You can ask him what I say. Brother, some of y'all biggest hits together. The chemistry been there. I don't care about what they say. And listen, now I know that was very difficult to read, but with all of this, what we can see is that despite whatever Young Thug said on the phone about Drake in the call that we all heard, where he said he was stupid, he was insensitive, and that he kinda is a terrible person when it comes to just having basic human sensitivity. He tries to win him back here so bad, and with Young Thug putting the apology to Drake right after he apologized to Mariah the Scientist, who of course is his girlfriend, that should tell you everything you need to know. And honestly, with Drake's response to this and the message they are sending now standing together, I mean, come on, with something that literally does feel like Drake's team approved it, we all know that this was planned behind the scenes, and Drake had to have heard this song and seemingly agreed to it, because even with this never before seen footage of Drake on FaceTime with Amir, I mean, literally with this alone, we do know you were communicating with Drake. All to get this footage, which you must have had to tell him you were releasing an apology track, so I mean, why are you trying to hide this and act like this is something new that Drake is just finding out now, which is also the message that he is putting out seemingly as well. And now while Young Thug tells us that Metro did not want to squash the beef with Drake, which shout out to Metro for standing on business, I guess one of these guys actually stands for something. Really now, with how much effort he put into speaking to Drake and where he positioned this on the track, I mean, we all know what's going on here. And now, while honestly, Young Thug saying Lil Baby won't answer his calls anymore and hearing him talk about Future is another key moment, which Thug did say a lot there, but honestly, there's not much else we need to really say and go into until we see Future's response. I mean, unless you care about Young Thug and Mariah the Scientist relationship so much, which if you do, this is not the conversation for you. Ultimately, this Drake stuff really is the huge moment here, and when we just see Drake's response, which of course featured him liking the post with the letter of all the lyrics very quickly. I mean, I know while Drake did do this after J. Cole dropped Port Antonio and things do seem weird between them, this situation is a lot different considering the proximity of how close these two have been and how they have had music that has come out and Drake has shouted him out over and over again from 100 gigs all the way to SSS for You. And to me, when you put all this together, even with the Young Thug call, it does look like it's Drake's way of saying that he forgives and is putting aside whatever differences he had with Young Thug. And for how in the dump Drake's career is, honestly, I don't care what another rapper says. If somebody actually wants to get in the studio with you, you can't even think about turning it down. And with what's happening with Drake and Young Thug right now, I mean, for the cupcake, this is the exact play that's going down. As now with Young Thug announcing that he is going to be dropping his long-awaited album next week, he is getting right into the rollout, and seemingly while we don't know who is clearing what at this point in terms of features and even beats for what is going to be on the record, because so much is in the air and so much was made messy, with Drake on board, and I guess we can assume 21 Savage is still locked in with him considering how solid he has been in these situations. Young Thug has at least some sort of a crew that he is going to try and make this thing with, and ultimately put out a project that very similar to Drake with his Iceman record because of the crash outs and fall offs these two have had and the places they put their legacies and names in because of their own stupidity. This is make or break for them. And now what I do think is coming with all of this established is going to be a Drake and Young Thug collab that with whatever drops they have left from their washed up careers, they will sink everything they have into making just a single record that can do anything positive for them. But now aside from Drake and Thug obviously planning this all behind the scenes and this record and what they will have coming very soon, within this Young Thug song and list of apologies he is going through, well, even despite after saying that he misses Gunna, he still does diss him here as he calls him a rat, and I guess this is to apologize to Lil Baby. That's a whole other situation, but on the main stage of what this means for hip-hop, out of all the people Young Thug dissed, who he did not take his words back for is J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar, and Andre 3000, and quick note for Andre, to diss somebody of Andre's stature, who is one of the greatest hip-hop artists of all time and is the GOAT of the Atlanta hip-hop scene, there would literally be no Atlanta rap without him. I mean, it's just baffling to even do this, and this is why this side of hip-hop is just so terrible for the genre, because in the past, throughout any other era, only the worst types of rappers would ever disrespect their pioneers, who literally are the nicest people possible. But Andre's probably happy playing the flute somewhere, and this is exactly why he left the industry, to avoid ridiculous situations like this, which he is just just way too mature to engage in. But now with Kendrick Lamar and also J. Cole, it honestly does seem like with Young Thug, he had to vow and really make sure he is good with Drake and just make him understand that his allegiance is to him. And with that, it did have to come with closing the door on two of the other members of the quote-unquote Big Three. And I mean, for a guy that you begged for a feature and clearly wanted to work with in Kendrick, and who you have shown you are a fan of in the past, because let's all remember when Young Thug was going back and forth online with French Montana, talking about how Kendrick had way more hits than him, to Cole, who executive produced your most successful album, was on one of your most successful songs in the London, and then who brought you on a major arena tour to open for him in the KOD era. I mean, overall, with Young Thug just not saying anything to either Kendrick or Cole, well, it shows two things, which the first is that he is standing on these words and not taking back what he said, which weird choice, but okay. But also, what Young Thug is showing is that with these lyrical rappers who Lil Baby has referred to as that other side of hip-hop, as they only want to make real people listen to their music and not rap fans. With turning on Kendrick and Cole, Young Thug is going all in on restoring and bringing together all of the rappers who hate rapping and who grifted everything for years in the industry as the genre became staler and staler in what I feel like is the worst era in hip-hop history. But really, in the grand scale, what we are seeing from Young Thug and his choices is an attack on hip-hop's mind, forward-thinkingness, and soul, as really just to disrespect the art of bars and writing, which is the most pivotal cornerstone to the entire genre. I don't care how you put it. And it's clear, Young Thug just wants illiterate rap to reign supreme. And now, while there is a lot we have to say for this, what I do want to say is now for J. Cole, while I don't know if him and Kendrick will ever be on good terms again, if Cole ever wants to stand up for literally anything and at that something so important to the art form that he is supposed to be a gatekeeper of, now would be the time to use your pen for good. But of course, for what matters on the highest level and who we know is going to stand on everything is none other than Kendrick Lamar. And honestly, when we just look at what's happening, what we are seeing is that the very words that Kendrick told all of these rappers a year ago when he popped out with those black Air Forces and shocked the whole timeline really have them more terrified than ever. As with everything going on, let's just look at where all the opposition to Kendrick Lamar and this other side of hip-hop is standing, which now, first off, Future and Metro Boomin are gone. Nobody knows where they are, and they have stayed out of this in terms of vocally responding. And then you got 21 Savage doing side quests, Drake being a cupcake, Lil Baby not picking up the phone, and then Young Thug stumbling the way we have all seen. Well, honestly, with what they're trying to do and with Young Thug's new record, it feels like the antithesis to Kendrick Lamar's party track, as it honestly is showing a desperate group of scrambling artists who are all losing relevance, trying to keep the party going and to convince themselves that they are still in an era that is all but over, but that they just don't want to face the reality of. And honestly, just with Young Thug doubling down on the words that Baby Keem is trash and that he has no motion and that Kendrick is weird for making rap music for rap fans and not real people, and well, not working with artists like Wham and Moneybagg Yo. I mean, in every sense of the word, in this scrambling party, Young Thug has bowed down to the one guy who they always thought had everything under control in Drake, and who yet absolutely has nothing going on for good in his career right now, and who's only going to lead them to take more L's. And speaking of taking L's, all we really can do now with this is just wait for Young Thug's album to drop, as it's another chance to try and keep this party going and shut down the movement that Kendrick Lamar has changed literally every single thing with. And of course, we know they're going to fail. And honestly, for Kendrick Lamar, who is going to be getting back on tour soon and who I am sure has been locked in just being the best rapper he can with whatever he is working on behind the scenes, you know he is ready for whatever these losers are going to do, because no matter what at this point, and no matter what songs and more importantly what tricks the Drakes and Young Thugs of rap think they can do to get back on top, Kendrick Lamar has told us everything in the music, and he knew that something like this was really going to come. And to be honest, while Drake and Young Thug may think they are onto something, whatever music they have coming is going to take over the industry one more time, Kendrick is not fazed by this one bit, because in terms of the taste of what the people and industry want, the party's fallen off and the vibes that they have been trying to copy and paste over and over again have been failing. And so with this, really, when Kendrick is saying the party is over and they are trying to show otherwise, what this is really going to mean, well, at this point doesn't even have anything to do with the music or the art of what we are talking about, but it's just about how all of these losers and rappers who are about to band together around Young Thug in whatever last-ditch attempt to save their careers they have left, well, how they are all going to come together and eventually have to face the fact that they are all respectively no longer the man, and that their waves and careers as rap stars and chart toppers is over. And again, when we talk about the party ending, this realization is going to do exactly that. And now with all that said, let me know. What do you think about everything going on with Young Thug, Drake, their weird team up, the response, them doubling down on moving against Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole, and Andre 3000 of people, which is honestly disgusting. And once again, channel memberships are live. We are going to do some bigger stuff with that very soon. So if you want to support the channel extra, you can do that right now in the description. It helps me out so much. Well, if you made it to this point in the video and you have not already, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. It really does go a long way. And now, if you want to see how before this, I think I found Drake doing something really bad that needs to be discussed. And at the same time, Lil Baby did announce that he is retiring from rap, and that is going to have major implications on everything we just talked about and a lot more to come. Well, check out the suggested video.